music, make you visualize. Cast away your fears, let the spirits heat the stars. I couldn't quite remember why I wrote these bars, but I really like this beat. It made me see afar. It had me challenging my inner creative spark. So captivate my mind, cause I've made it hella far. Ready to slow me down, cause I'm coming.
So welcome guys. Mad, bad, misunderstood. If you could like. Likes. Like, subscribe, comment, you know, I like a good comment. So thank you and appreciation again to Naya Moss for, you know, letting me back into this beautiful building. Thank you again to Daryl Laycock for interviewing me on the first episode. I'm so happy from the amount of support I've received from putting out the first episode. It was beautiful. Thank you to everyone that's reached out. So, you know, we're back again. Rain's story part 2. I'm here on my lonesome tonight to talk, just to be able to just flow and get it all out without any other energies, you know, except for me and the cameraman. It's just so, you know, I see you. So, yeah. So, you know, just to recap on the first episode, you know, I told you about what happened when I was younger, when I was, you know, when I used to go to my grand's. You know, we talked on just how promiscuous I was with boys, you know, things I was asked to do. So, yeah, we're just going to we're going to go back a bit and delve in a little bit deeper and just let me open up, you know, my goal and, you know, my aim is to just put some awareness out there so people are, you know, they don't have to keep things quiet. And I said this last time, I want people to reach out. Let's talk about things. Let's talk the things, get the story out there. You know, like I said, I'm not looking people with blue ticks, and, you know, that will happen and that will come in good time. But I'm looking the ordinary people with a story and, you know, a purpose. And so we move. So this episode is to basically continue, clarify, and be fully clear on my story. You know, I don't feel like we even scratched the surface of what I've been through. And, you know, we're going to continue this uncomfortable conversation. And I feel like I could do it better on my own, you know? So, yeah, let's move. So, you know, after grands and just being you know, being what's the word I'm looking for? And I get like this all the time, people. You're going to have to bear with me. Being exposed to what I was exposed to, yeah, it kind of just, because I didn't speak about it, and it did spark that sexual tendency in me now. Now I was looking, do you know what I mean? And I was putting myself in situations that weren't great, you know. I was very promiscuous. I was young and very loud and hyper. It didn't do me no good, you know. Like I said, I was put in all sorts of situations, and one situation that sticks in my mind, and I even see this guy sometimes every now and then, look, pop down, but, you know, I see him and I think, wow, these people really violated, but it's all right, you know, because God is good and in God I trust, you know. But there's a situation that stands out before I found myself in a relationship. And I remember, so, you know, when you have a crush on like, you know, when you have a crush on a pop star or a movie star or whatnot. I had a crush on the guy from Carnival, the mic man, the DJ. And I used to watch him every time I used to go to Carnival. I'd look out for him, you know, and I wanted this guy so much. I'd always notice him, and try and get close to him. You know, as a young girl, you know, these are the things that you end up doing. Anyway, I've ended up getting his number. Remember, I lost my virginity young, so now I'm sexually active. I was 12. Do you know what I mean? So now I'm active. So I'm curious, and most of the time, most of these mans that I was looking at were older. You know. Anyway, I've got this guy's number from the carnival. Right? We're not going to mention no names, but got his number, and I remember lying to my mum one day, telling her I'm going to go to my friends, but I weren't going to my friends. I was going to meet this dude. You get me? I was still in my school uniform, you know? So I've ended up meeting up with this guy and going back to his yard, getting up to whatever, you know, would have done anything for this guy. I was so happy just to be around him and be in his presence. Anyway, well, you know, now we're getting into whatever we're doing. And it is sexual. Yeah, it is. And anyway, fucking, my man's ended up bringing someone else into the room. Now, who the fuck does that? When I think back now, this is what I'm saying. When at the time, you know, like I said, I just wanted to keep this guy happy. I was so glad to be in his company. So glad that I was now finally getting it on with him after I've lusted over this guy for time. You know, and my man's brought someone else. Thank the God, yeah, this guy, this dude that is brought in could see I was uncomfortable because I was going to crack on, but he could see I was uncomfortable with this situation and just kind of told my man, nah. Do you know what I mean? But that could have been worse. That whole situation could have been worse, you know, and I had to go home and lied to my mum and dad like I'd been at my friends when I wasn't, and have this on my conscience. Do you know what I mean? So I'm adding all these layers of fuckery to my mind and my mindset, you know, how I think and how I'm being treated and I'm being conditioned. Anyway, so that's that. We move, yeah. My head goes, and it, you know, it's going back. It's hard, and this was the thing with the first episode. I feel like I weren't just able to just sit for a minute and compose myself and get together because I'm not quick like that. I'm still learning to articulate myself properly, you know. But anywho. So, you know, growing up, years later, mature, and where I went from there, this guy bringing in the next man, and then I ended up getting a good job. Now, this is before my mum died. There must have been enough other situations that I would have went through, but that situation with the dude, yeah, is one that stays with me. Anyway, so I've got this job with this entertainment agency through the job centre. I must have been about 18, just turning 17, 18, yeah. And it was in Hume. It was raw in the middle of Hume. And is it Riley Street? But anyway, these houses were brand new at the time. This woman had got a business. Well, she was working from home, but she needed admin. I was administration. And, you know, it was sick. I used to get paid weekly. I was in this woman's house. I was in the ends. I was local. I was nice. I was being paid right. But she introduced me to a whole new world. She was nicely well off. She was married, but it was weird because the husband weren't living there. She had a little drop top whip. Can't remember where, Aldi. You know, and I used to go out with him. We used to go to the nicest restaurants. She showed me something different, you know what I mean, that I weren't used to, 17, 18, you know what I mean? And yeah, it was good, man. It was, but this is what I'm saying. So the night before my mum died, the 18th of April, 2005, yeah, I obviously remember my birthday is April as well, so I'm still celebrating my birthday. It's my birthday month. bearing in mind I have been told a couple of not long prior to my birthday coming up that my mum has got ovarian cancer. You know, horrible disease. Fuck it, I fucking hate cancer. But yeah, so I'd been out the night before my mum died, and these are the first times I'm being introduced to cocaine. And so this night, I remember going in. Anyway, wake up, wongered on a come down, feeling like shit. And that's when I got the call. That's when I got the call saying, your mum's not going to last the night. And obviously I went under, feeling ill. And she didn't obviously last the night. My world crumbled from there. Remember Seahawk, people? I remember going to the Seahawk afterwards. Crazy, you know, and just getting mashed up. And life was just going on for everyone else like normal. And it was weird. It was the weirdest, horriblest, the worst day of my life. Worst day. Anyway, so yeah, she goes from there. I'm still working at this job. And I'm explaining this to you because I want you to just understand how fucked and far gone my head was. So now my mum's dead and I'm still on a mad one. Now I'm dabbling with cocaine, I'm drinking a lot, I'm burning bare weed, going out, getting into real states, not even knowing where, having one night stands, doing a lot. This is why when Daryl was asking me, so can you tell me about good times? Why? There weren't none. There weren't really no good. I'm making the good times now. But anywho, so yeah, I remember my boss that I was working for, I introduced her to a few of the man them from the ends now. So people are coming to check for her and that, and she's building relationships with people and whatnot. Anyway, she ends up, she starts seeing this next dude, and I end up sleeping with the guy, and I don't know why, but that's how fucked guys are. But I should have knew better. But, and there's enough buts in it. But coulda, woulda, shoulda. But anywho, so I ended up sleeping with this guy. And I remember getting, not even an argument, but an altercation. I think I told my boss. And she sacked me. And I don't know why I didn't think that she wouldn't do that anyway. And she'd understand. So I was trying to tell her to try and make her understand where I was coming from. But she didn't. She just sacked me. So life spirals even more. Now I'm not making no money. This is when I start stripping. 19. So this is what, like 2005, 6 now. Start stripping. Fantasy bar. Deansgate. Sick bar that. It was a sick club. But that introduced me to a whole next world of fucking bullshit. Again. Now I'm semi in the adult industry. I'm 19, vulnerable, grieving. You know what I mean? Like, sad when I think about it. It's I feel sorry for her. But, you know, she was surviving, and that's what she was, just on fight and flight, you know what I mean? She was surviving. So, yeah, like I said, that introduced me to a whole next world, you know. But at least she was waking up with a few pennies in your pocket. It's cold in here, guys. I have to start bringing them pennies in and put some heating in this blow because it's cold. But we move, mad, bad, misunderstood. So yeah, I just got in the stripper game, and I just feel like, you know, it kept me above water with financially, money wise, but it just sent me down a whole next lane. You know, good job I never sold my soul and I'm still here today. Yo, because anyway, I think, you know, my dad kind of started noticing how much I was like not dealing with my mum's death good. You know, he just married as well, so that was a whole, but we won't go into that. But, you know, he remarried very quickly in my eyes, and that sent me worse. Like, didn't really get on with him for a long time, but he's seen that, you know, I was struggling. I was struggling with my mum's death. I was struggling with everything that was going on. I was struggling with life. So, you know, he sent me away to Jamaica. I went yard for 3 months, and that was good. That was good, but I was still a little bit of a wrong'un in yard, you know. I remember going back for my 21st birthday, and I'd met someone, so, you know, dealing with someone out there. And it always has to be the ruffians for me. You know, my family was living in Red Hills and I'm going downtown Kingston in the shacks. You know what I mean? Like, in the roughness. Like, I was always down for just being with the raw and ready. I should have chilled. But yeah, on my 21st birthday, I remember, you know, the people that I'd met over there did arranged a big old dance for me. And it was the sickest, it was lovely, it was nice. But the next day I ended up being licked off a motorbike and breaking the biggest bone in your body, your femur. Do you know what I mean? And that was a madness. Because now I couldn't come back home. I was only supposed to go there for 2 weeks. And now I'm here for a whole next month. And so, do you know what I mean? And if it weren't for my dad being the man that he is, I wouldn't have come back with 2 legs. I'd have come back with 1. Because if you ain't got money, you know, they're just taking that shit away. They ain't helping you like here in the UK. So yeah, you know, so all these things are happening. You know, now my mum's died and I'm just out there getting myself. So yeah, broke leg, come back and try to settle down a little bit. You know, that's when I met my baby father. And meeting him did settle me down. You know, I remember us setting up a studio in my mum's house in one of the rooms. And, you know, I ended up learning how to bake and just certain things that I weren't doing previous. I was in my yard more, you know. And then obviously I had a lot of trouble with having my son. Hence why I talk about good sexual health and looking after your body and your temple. We're not really, these days it's more in your face, but then you weren't really shown the right way as well, because the way this system's set up is to fuck up us as women, as females, so we can't conceive and all them type of things. It's scary out here. But I had a lot of trouble having my son, but, you know, conceived with him after having these dye tests through my fallopian tubes. It was a lot of stress, but thank you, Lord, you know, I'm blessed that I had a son naturally. I was able to birth 1 child. But, you know, because going back into what I spoke on in the first episode, you know, Daryl, you know, was it a toy boy and that? Nah, but he was very calm. And like I said, I turned into a homebody. Because at first when my mum died, I was out there, I was on road, I was, do you know what I mean? I was just about, like I said, getting myself into all sorts of situations with all sorts of different people. And it weren't cool. So, you know, he calmed me down. But even that, you know, I had my child. Like I said, there was a whole heap of issues just to have my son. And that relationship broke down. I'm not even really going to get into that because it's kind of irrelevant. It's not left me really, it's not left me any trauma. That it just broke down, and I feel like I grew past him, or vice versa. You know, we just went our separate ways. But he, you know, he went on to having more kids. But I ended up So let me just retrack a bit. So before our relationship did break down, or when it was breaking down, I can see I got caught pregnant again. But unfortunately, this pregnancy ended up me losing both of my fallopian tubes. So where, you know, how old was I now? I'm like 20, 26, 27, being told that you can't have no more kids. And this is a big thing for me to share with y'all as well, because I'm putting myself out there for y'all to just, what's the word? Scrutinize, you know? So, but yeah, I was told I couldn't have no more kids. And that's like next slap bang. So from, you know, what happened when I was a kid to, you know, fucking all the shit that I put myself through, losing my mum, breaking my leg, a big hole. It was hard to even have my first son anyway. And now I'm being told I can't have no more. Mate, my head went. Like I said, the relationship with my baby father was done now. You know, not long after this, I found out he was having babies. So, you know, then you start rebelling. And that's what I did. I just didn't give a fuck. I didn't care about myself, and I sure didn't care about no one else. Do you know what I mean? My priority was my son, because I never put him around anything. And that's one thing where I've always, like I've shown you, I'm not putting him in no danger where anyone can violate him or take the piss. So he's never really been around nothing. But you know what I mean? So he's always been my priority. But I just let myself go, man. I was letting everyone in my house, everyone around me, and in my spirit, in my energy, you know, and life just, it got hard. It got hard. And the fallopian tubes and not being able to conceive ever again. This is why I talk so passionately about sexual health, because it's only now I'm just dealing with these things and coming to terms with them, learning how to live with them, you know, because I wanted loads of kids at one point. I've now had to settle and put my, and you know, just deal with the fact that I'm only going to ever have one naturally. You know, if another one comes through IVF or what, because there is avenues to take, you know, then, you know, so be it. But at the point where I'm at now, I'm all about healing and growing. I wouldn't even really want to bring no more kids into this scary world that we live in. It's scary. But yeah, you know, I got close to someone who got killed, and that sent my head westward. So it's like one thing after the other. Then I was acting out of character with regards to how life was at that time. You know, I ended up seeing someone it was just mad. I was putting myself in circles and situations and issues and giving people the ability to talk about me. I was giving it them, just giving them a reason to talk. So I get it. Do you know what I mean? I understand. I've looked at my actions. I've looked on the things that I've done. I've analysed that shit and asked myself, why? Why did you do that? Why did you hurt that? You know, the amount of friends I've had over the years. I don't have no friends, but I know everyone. It's a mad thing. It's mad. And it's sad. Do you know what I mean? And that's because I just didn't know no better. And I was in such a dark place. It was horrible, man. But the things that, you know, that I did, it was just from one thing to the other. You know, even losing Donovan, rest in peace, Don Juan. You know, he was someone that used to encourage me. You know, I don't have many people saying, can you just go and sing, or your voice is good, or something about you, Rain. You know what I mean? I don't have many people saying that. I have people either staying away, looking. I have people with issues, but I don't have people giving me that love. Do you know what I mean? So, and I feel like every person that has kind of shown me something different, something deeper, on a deeper level, I've lost them. So it's made me who I am now. Like I said, 3-4 years I've been working on myself. I did psychedelics, which was the best thing I could have ever done. Natural medicines, the best thing ever, just tapping in, opening up my third eye. Do you know what I mean? Learning to love myself. Letting go of all that trauma, letting go of feeling shit and feeling guilty of the things that I've done. And, I do reach out every now and then and apologise to people that I remember that I've hurt, because I weren't a nice person, but it was all these things combined that just turned me into a fucking monster. And it was a shame. So it was just coming it was getting to a point where, everyone was dying as well. I really had to consciously say to myself, I'm not gonna get too personal with these deaths. Ain't no death, can't no death affect me more than my mum's. No one. So unfortunately, I've had to learn and condition myself to not kind of feel no way. And it's a cold thing to kind of say, but it is what it is. I try not to get upset no more. I've cried and I've been upset. I can't believe I'm not crying today, but I cry a lot still, and I'm learning to stop that, because it's like a sign of weakness. At the same time, some people would say, sometimes I say it's a sign of strength, but could beg to differ here. But yeah, there was a period where everyone was just dying, man. And it's scary. And it just showed me that, what am I doing? What have I achieved? I've always wanted to be purposeful. I always loved helping people. So what am I doing? I had to really reflect on my shit and my life and myself and my actions, and why do you do these things? I had to start looking in, and and hence why I'm talking about these things today, because even this, for me, this is healing for me. Me just letting it out. I've probably always wanted to just let shit out, but I've always cared about what people are going to think about me. I've always cared about people's perception of me. These days, I just don't care. I don't care. Done with caring. Too much energy. It's easier not to. Do you know what I mean? And like I said, it's my healing process. And my purpose, I can't even wait for for my first interview, because, the people that I'm getting on, they're here for a purpose. They're telling the story for a purpose, Shit's not always happy, and people go out and they're celebrating and living the best life, but are they really what are they masking? Just let it go. Let's talk about it. You might help someone else. So that is my goal. You get me? That's what I want people to come on to this fucking platform, to just be able to, let's help some people. Let's encourage the youths, them. You know what I mean? And the elders, because even the elders need encouraging, Star. Trust me. Again, I'm not going to go, I think I'm going to leave it there, because I start stuttering and I start getting proper. A lot's happened. If anyone wants that, I don't mind anyone, if anyone wants me on their podcast, I don't mind answering any questions, but I've put it out there. Life's been mad. It was like one thing after the other. I'm really peeling back these layers of trauma that I've got. I'm really peeling them back and trying to let them go and let them flow, and so I can build my life now, this half. Do you know what I mean? I seen a man put up the other day, and I'm nearly 40, and he said, take or leave, I'm living till about 80, take it or leave it a little bit if I'm healthy and live good and whatnot. So what am I going to do for these next 40 years? Do you know what I mean? Been here for 40 and it goes like that. What am I doing for the next? Do you know what I mean? So let's hope we can take off with this, people. Let's build on our community, especially in Manchester, man. You know, I don't want to just keep it to here because we want to go everywhere with it. But like right now, you know, it's about healing me. Then I'm about healing my family. Then I'm about healing more people. You get me? I just want to help, heal, and spread love and light. Miss Candy Rain, mad, bad, misunderstood. Go and, you know, like, subscribe, comment, you know, go and add all my socials. Mad, bad, misunderstood. Loving all the support so far. Let's keep it moving, guys. Love and light. Everything bright. Mad!